Ben Johnson and his attention to detail, and not only the alignments, how you're lining up, taking advantage of the defense, the personnel that you have out there, how and where you use that personnel, that's something that really separates, right, a team. And that's what can give you a competitive advantage. And the Bears are going to be trying to find every angle they can have for a competitive advantage heading into the season after a 5-win season. And so that's what it comes down to. But Ben Johnson is really putting his imprint on this team early on. And that's something that's very clear, evident, and we've talked about it. Sam Laporta, a lot of people talk about that, and he became one of the most productive tight ends in the game of football. And so there's hope that Ben Johnson's going to bring that with Kmet, with Loveland, and they're going to turn into something that the Bears can look at as a weapon tandem for them. And that's what you need as a team. You need that 1-2 punch, and that's something that also can help Caleb. Especially with as he's learning the process things and go down the field a little bit more on the accuracy things, having two tight ends that can both catch passes and can block for you and those type of things, having that versatility and the ability to go to a 12-man set, especially while Caleb Williams is also learning to play under center a little bit more this year. Those are all things that help that learning curve. And so I love to hear that they don't have kid gloves on. They're not only opening part of the playbook. They threw everything at players while they're still developing and figuring out who, what, when, where, and how they're going to be effective in this offense. They're getting it together. And so that's things that I love to hear. I love to see this team coming together like we know that they can, right? But let's flip that to the defensive side of the ball. We've talked a lot about Jaquan Brisker over the last couple of days and what he can mean for this Bears team if he's healthy, right? You look at it, and article yesterday that we talked about called him the one player in that secondary can be a punisher over the middle, and he can, but he has to stay healthy to be able to do that. But Montez Sweat talked about Brisk, and he said this: Brisk brings a lot of energy on the field and off the field. He's just the energetic guy, so you kind of hear him everywhere in any area that he's at. And maybe that was what the Bears secondary was missing on the second half of last season. You look at that 5-12 season that we had, and even the things that are kind of going well for us, a 10-game losing streak, everything fell apart. And getting Jaquan Brisker back on the field to bring some of that identity that the Bears are going to need and be trying to build. And he's not the only one, right? We talked about every level of having somebody who's trying to build some identity on this team and help establish that identity. And that all starts with Dennis Allen as well as the defensive coordinator. But having Jaquan Brisker back, that adds to the flexibility of how you use him and Kevin Byard. And we know how important the secondary is into a Dennis Allen system.